What up, man? It's your big brother K-Rino, and I don't plan on keeping y'all long. I ain't gonna say that. I almost said it. I almost said I don't plan on keeping y'all long, but I might have been wrong. But we all gonna go into it, and I'm gonna try to run through it as quick as I can. Um, y'all see the title. Well, you will see the title once y'all kind of creep in. But these topics are not really that popular because they pose a threat to the people who think the way I'm getting ready to speak. So we'll get into it. But what I want y'all to do is y'all come in. Please hit that like button as y'all come in. Hit the like button as y'all come in. As soon as y'all enter this chat, just click like right behind it. And that way I won't have to keep asking y'all to do it all night long. Friday night, I'm on here pretty early tonight. I always got to mention that, do a time check. But as y'all see by the topic, if you knew what people, certain people, some people really thought about you, this world would be a different kind of place. Imagine, imagine yourself right now, you right now who's watching this, you, imagine yourself being granted the ability to read minds for 24 hours. It don't even have to be long. It could be something. Look, you have the ability to read people's minds for 24 hours. That means everywhere you go, you in the store, you at work, you at the park, you in traffic, you at home with your wife or your husband, your children, you're hanging out with your friends for 24 hours. You had the ability to know what's on everybody's mind who is around you. Do you understand how dangerous that ability would be if we had that, even just for 24 hours? You wouldn't want it for more than 24 hours. You wouldn't want it for like life or nothing like that. So, man, that's just a power that you wouldn't want that. No normal person would want that because you would hear things in the minds of people that you really are close to, that you really care about, and people that you thought cared about you. You would hear them thinking things about you that would probably really mess your head up. Appreciate you, King Kong. I appreciate the love and donation, man. I thank you so much for that. As usual, man. Big supporter. Appreciate that. You would be messed up. And you know how I know you would be messed up? It's because, and how you should know that you would be messed up if you had that ability. It's based on the way you have thought about people, the way that I have thought about people. There are things that you think in your mind that you just don't say. Even some of the people who might be considered or consider themselves to be the most upfront, brutally honest, straight shooter type people, there's even a line that they won't cross in terms of like, I'm not gonna say that. Or there may be certain people that they don't go there with. So it would scare you to death as you was walking around. Let me tell you, that was an episode of the Twilight Zone, which one of my favorite TV shows. And what happened was, I ain't gonna be long, but what happened was the guy came out of his apartment one day. This guy came out of his apartment one day and he flipped a coin into this box. So this guy was selling something and he flipped the coin into the box. And the coin landed straight up. It didn't land flat. It landed straight up. So the guy was like, wow, that's amazing, man. What are the chances? What are the chances of this coin landing just straight up like that? And the guy went on about his business, but what happened was he's in the Twilight Zone now, y'all. This ain't real life. What happened was the fact that this coin landed straight up like it did, it gave him the ability to read people's minds. So he was at work all day long, hearing what his coworkers thought about him, hearing what the boss thought about him, hearing what people on the street thought about him. Guy passed by and said, "Watch where you're going, you idiot." He said in his mind. See, he's hearing all of this. And it gave him an insight on how the average person really has certain thoughts about people, even if they're having a conversation with you and they're standing there like this, okay, all right, smiling at you, okay. But there may be, and I ain't talking about everybody, y'all. That's why I said some or certain people. There may be somebody that's sitting there like, man, this dude here, man, just talk. I don't even want to talk to this dude. But they're smiling. Like, yeah, I don't even want to talk to this dude, man. I don't like this dude. Can't stand her. You don't know. Man, they think he all that. She thinks she all. She look how she carry herself. She walk in the room like she just better than everybody. And you weren't even thinking like that. You were just walking in the room. Hey, what's up, y'all? Speaking to everybody. There she go. Then that same person that thought, they'll go, hey, what's up? Hey, how you doing? You never know. You unsuspecting. Now, I'm going to touch on that aspect. I'm going to come back to the personal, just on our level aspect of it. But that's not the reason why I made this topic. That's not really where I'm trying to go. Really, where I'm trying to go, where I'm going to go, when you talk about this nation that we live in, called the United States of America. And let me say this before I really get into it, y'all. If my feed cuts off, if it stalls or jams up, stay on. Don't log off, because a lot of times when I go into certain topics, mysteriously, my connection starts tripping. So if it starts tripping, if y'all notice that, just stay on. Don't go nowhere if you can. But it's really not about just us per se. We'll come back to that, but it's really about how America thinks about us. It's the way they view you. We live in a very diverse nation in terms of um, racial diversity and different ethnicities and races and creeds and people and colors and all that. But those who run this government, those who run this system, they have a thought about us that some of them present outwardly, some of them, but a lot of them portray the role of being somebody who includes and cares and loves everybody. And that's just simply not the reality. That's not what's in their mind. So I was watching how they sentenced Brittany Griner to 9 years in prison yesterday, right? In Russia. She was sentenced in Russia for the cannabis oil that she had on her, which was like 0.7 grams, not much at all. But we understand there's Russian law, and there's American law, there's French law, there's African law, there's German law. Every nation has their way of doing it. So we understand that. So she was given 9 years. That was the verdict. She was found guilty and given 9 years in prison, right? And while people were outraged and shocked and appalled and, oh my God, I was too when I looked at it, but I had to catch myself to understand that, look, this was kind of expected because we get kind of caught up in how that sentence would be handled, even over here in racist America, right? They wouldn't have hit her like that, right? So once everything was kind of explained and I kind of just checked it out, I was like, okay, well, I understand what okay, I see that's not something that those who are in the inside are shocked. They kind of like, okay, this is gonna happen, but it's just setting it up, hopefully, for a swap, a prisoner swap with the guy they got over here in America, and for Brittany Griner and another American citizen named Paul Whelan. They're trying to make that swap, right? Cool. So I'm online yesterday, and I'm just scrolling, and I see a post about Brittany Griner's sentence and all this, and I start reading the comments, and the comments were so disrespectful towards Brittany, right? And I mean, on a level like, and hold on, let me say this real quick. Well, I'll get to it. The comments were so disrespectful that it was almost, not almost, it was on a level of mockery. It was on a level of, ha ha, that's what you get. It was on a level of just almost wish she would have got more time. So the natural instinct is to say, man, who is leaving these kind of comments? Because I was on my social media, I'm like, I see my little circle of people like that, but I've seen a lot of racist white folks leaving those comments. So at that point, it didn't shock me no more. I was like, oh, okay, all right. Okay, I see who this is now. I see who this group of people is that's hitting like that. Making comments like, well, yeah. One of the comments was, when you kneel for something, you'll fall for anything, making a reference to the fact that Black athletes, Brittany Griner included, had at some point during the racial, I'm gonna say during because it's still going on, at some point during some of the peaks and circumstances and instances of racial discrimination and police brutality and injustice in this country, they chose to either kneel, they chose to either boycott or sit out the games. They chose to not participate in the national anthem. And WNBA players, as well as NBA players, as well as some NFL players, they partook in that act. So all of that came back into the minds of these racist folks who took the opportunity to see Brittany locked up in that prison and receive that sentence. They took that as a chance, to say, that's what you get. See, that's what you get. Now, you're not looking at the crime itself. If we want to call it a crime, cool. You're not looking at the offense itself and the level of it in terms of the crime, the punishment fitting the crime, or the magnitude of what was levied on her compared to what she actually had on her. You ain't looking at that. You looking at Black woman who has kneeled against injustice in her own country, supposedly her own country. You looking at that, still talking about flag disrespect and talking about, well, haha, that's what she get, basically. Multiple comments. I can't even remember all of them, but one after the other one was just, they found that to be the most entertaining, hilarious, wonderful thing that could have happened to a person, to a Black woman who was found with 0.7 grams of cannabis oil and some vape cartridges, right? Not 20 kilos of cocaine, not a whole bunch of guns smuggled in, no instances of human trafficking, and didn't kill 10, 15 people. None of that. None of that. No mass shooting. None of that. These are the same people who are quiet when these mass shooters get down and do what they do. So the point I'm making goes back to the title of this live tonight. If you knew what people really thought about you, what certain people really thought about you, it comes out when it's ready to come out. But sometimes it don't come out like that. Sometimes it takes a minute for it to come out, or it never comes out. So now you at work, you at your desk, just sitting right next to this person. You in line at Walmart, right behind this person, right in front of this person. Like I said, you in traffic. You want to come out. The traffic's going this way. You want to come out. They don't want to let you in. They don't want to let you come out. Not because of the traffic, just because of who you are. Because there's a certain thought that they have about us, not because we've done anything personally to them, nothing on that level, not because we've even done anything that has been a detriment to society, not even that. Only because, for two reasons: you are you, hey man, you black, or because you're black and you had the unmitigated gall and audacity to try to stand up for yourself against an injustice that was carried out by the very country that you live in, the very country that they would say you have a right to speak out against. But the problem is, the law states, or the Constitution states, that you have a right to speak out in disagreement against your country if you feel that way. The Constitution states that. But the Constitution wasn't written for you or for me. So we kind of carry that. Well, my constitutional rights, we carry that. But they look at it like, fool, that wasn't about you. So when you try to exercise those constitutional rights, they looking at you like, that was for us, not you. You should be happy that we've given you an opportunity to do whatever it is, to bounce your little basketball, to sing your little songs, to do your little dance. You should be happy that we give you an opportunity to do that. So shut up. Don't get to talking. Don't get beside yourself and have the nerve to want to be upset about how we treat y'all. That's a real mindset. Oh man, no, man. No, okay, man. You reaching, man. You reaching, K. That ain't that's a real mindset. And it shows its head in certain moments like this, like we see with Brittany Griner. It shows its head, it rears its head. This ain't got nothing to do necessarily with Russian laws and what Russia sentenced her to. It's the after effect, it's the response of people right here. So she's not an American in their eyes. She's not one of them in their eyes. She ain't one of us. But the coach came out recently, about a month ago, whenever, Brittany Griner's coach came out. She's a white lady, and she made a statement. She said that, well, this is unfair. If that was LeBron James locked up, then everybody would be in an uproar. No, ma'am. You didn't say that right. Don't try to use LeBron James. Don't throw another black man's name in there, another black person's name in there to try to equate or try to make some kind of comparison of how the response would be. You should have said if that was Diana Taurasi. You should have said if that was Sue Bird, one of the white WNBA players, then you could have said that, and it'd have been justified. Because had it been Diana Taurasi, and she would have went over there and had 0.7 grams of cannabis oil and some vape cartridges, and she would have been caught and detained and jailed in a Russian jail and sentenced to 9 years in prison. Those same racists that was making them comments about Brittany Griner, they would be outraged right now. Plain and simple. You ain't got to agree with me. But what's the term everybody using now? I said what I said. So there's not necessarily even a double standard. I guess we can call it a double standard, but that's just a different view in terms of, like, they don't look at you as being what you think you are in this country. They don't look at us like that. So we can proudly wear our I'm American this, man. Hey man, I'm in the Army. Hey man, I was in the Air Force. I served in the military in this country. Okay, that's cool. But they don't treat their own veterans worth nothing. What chance do you got? Chance do you have at all? You are only valuable when they need bodies to go fight. Then they'll say, okay, yeah, come on. You're right. Then, or if you rebel, or if you say, I'm not gonna fight, I'm not gonna participate in your unjust wars and your money driven wars and your resource driven wars. If you don't want to do that, then they'll try to play the American card on you. Then they'll say, well, you're supposed to be an American. As a citizen of this country, America's been so good to you. And now you want me to be an American now. Now I'm an American. Brother C. Muhammad says they tagged his house with racial slurs right here at home. He talking about LeBron James. So the worst treatment that we get, it comes from right here. So Sister Brittany is detained in Russia. And it's okay, she's facing 9 years and all that, but the worst treatment that we get comes from right over here. So we can't make the mistake of walking around thinking that all the people that are around us that we interact with on a daily basis, we're thinking that they view us the same way we view us. I'm an American. I'm a proud American. Okay, that's cool. You can claim to be a proud American all you want, but you will not ever receive the treatment that an American who's accepted as an American, who was respected as a true American, you'll never receive that kind of treatment because they don't think about you like that. You're not that to them. And it's in their mind every single day. If you are annoyed at a Latino man or a Latino woman, you're in the store and you have a Latino family minding their own business, y'all waiting in line, and they start speaking to each other in Spanish, and they're speaking their language, and they're laughing and speaking Spanish and going in. and you standing behind them mad because you can't understand what they're saying. And they just talking to each other in their language. Then you had instances where people will say, hey man, don't be talking that stuff, man. You're in America. You need to learn to speak English. You need to speak English. You talking that stuff. You're in America. You turn around like, man, I'm talking to my husband, my wife, my children. Why are you concerned with what I'm saying with my conversation? Because there's an arrogance, there's a superiority complex that makes them go, you should be speaking something that I can understand so I'll know what you're saying. Like, what? What do you mean? Just because then they can turn around and address you in English. And just because the only languages that we know over here, the only language we know is this bastard language called English. That's all we got. That's all we know. That's all they got. A baby language. English is a baby language in multiple ways. It's a baby language in that in its simplicity, in that and it's a bastard language. It comes from all it's come from all different languages. It was stolen in parts taken from all other languages and original languages. But it's also a baby language because it's just barely over 500 and some years old. So it's a new language spoken by new people. The people who speak it just got here a few thousand years ago. They'll tell you they've been here millions of years, but they haven't. Don't blame me. You prove me wrong, then I'll be a lie. But you're not going to be able to prove me wrong. See? So to get upset because I'm speaking my language. And it's the same thing when you see a scenario where 3 or 4 young black men pull up at the store and they jamming their music. Now, when you go to a store, everybody who is at that store, you go to the corner store, right? Everybody who is at that corner store, they just coming in, getting what they get, leaving. Come in, get what you get, leave it. Everybody. Any interactions that take place inside of a store may be, hey man, I grabbed that door and held it open for you because you was coming at the same time. All right, appreciate it, no problem. Okay, oh man, hey, okay, how you doing, man? Excuse me. Oh, you in line? Okay, nah, okay, all right. Hey, let me get 15 on number 5. All right, man. Hey, oh, excuse me, man. I ain't mean to bug. Those are the kind of interactions you have at the store. Put into the driver at the same time. You might look over, they might look over. That's it. But you look over and see young brothers playing their music in the car, and in an instant where you know that if that music is bothering you, the first thought should be, well, I'm only going to be here 2 minutes. I'm just going to go in the store, buy me or whatever it is you're going to buy you, and I'll be gone. I won't have to worry about that loud music. But you take it on yourself to address these young brothers and say, hey, man, your music is, turn that music down. That music is too loud. Who are you? Superiority complex. You're superior to them in your mind. So you got the right to just walk up on some young cats that you don't even know and tell them they need to turn down their music. See? That's the mindset. So when it goes bad because a grown person, hey man, it's my music. Why is you worried about it? Then he pulls out a gun and shoots him. See? This is the mindset. This ain't a made up story. This has happened. Those are the ones who act on what they thought, how they think, how they feel about you. Extreme cases where they actually act on it, speak it, say it, do it, move on it, right? But again, if somebody at your school, they don't like nothing about you. Somebody at your job, They don't like nothing. Somebody hired you that don't even like you. But they had to hire you to prevent going through any type of discriminatory accusations, or you came in or to meet a quota. Certain situations, we need a token black, or we need this, we gotta hire, like we gotta, they hired you for other reasons, but they don't care nothing about you. And then back down to the personal level, the way we do each other. We look at a few differences that we might have, and we treat those differences like that warrants us or justifies us speaking in such negative ways, and where it's almost like we hate each other. How do you know that people be thinking stuff about you? What you mean? How would you know what people thinking? You can't read people's mind. No, I can't. Sometimes I can. It's like sometimes you can. But the way I know, all you got to do is be around people who talk about other people behind their back. And how many of us have not been in those situations? When you're around somebody else who's going in on somebody else, and we all know that other person, and you're like, hey, why you ain't say that when he was right? He was just here. You didn't say that about him when he was right here. So that lets you know. And then to take it to another level, they'll talk about the person when the person is off the scene, but then when the person comes back around, they right back cool and kicking it with them. So what is your role after that? After you see that, what are you supposed to do? When you see that, you're supposed to be like, wait a minute. You were just saying the other day that he think he better than everybody because he just started working down at such and I ain't making $28 an hour. You just said that. Now you laughing and joking, eating the man food. So that's how you know that people have thoughts about you. Envy is another aspect. Envy kicks in a lot among people that you're close with. It's one thing, people will envy somebody that they don't even know. I see people envying like entertainers and stuff. People mad at Beyonce, people mad at LeBron James, people mad at a singer, whoever you can think of. It's like, man, why you ain't know that person? What you so upset about? Just the way you talk, what's wrong? Let's see what y'all talking about, man. Go in early and see what y'all talking about. See, that's right. Bot Mushin says, then you know they talking about you when you turn your back, when you ain't around. That's right. That's how you know. You got individuals who they snipe everybody. Anybody who leaves the circle starts getting talked about by this particular person. You just got people like that. Our job is to make sure that we are not guilty of doing that. The best way to live your life in that regard is to set a rule within yourself. We all have to work on it and set that rule within ourselves. And what is that rule? That rule is to always make sure that you never ever say anything about a person when they're not around that you wouldn't say when they was around. If a thought enters your head and you go, would I say that if they was here? And if you know that you would, okay. If you say what you said, then if somebody call you on it, then that person come around and you stand on, yeah, you know what? Yeah, I said that. Yeah, I did say that about you, man. Or I'll just tell them right there. But if the thought goes, no, I wouldn't say that. I would never say that to her face. Then you shouldn't say it at all. Shouldn't say it, period. Because what are you gaining out of saying it in the first place? What are you gaining? See, it's always a snitch motive involved in that, because typically when people are saying stuff behind people's back, like they're saying negative things about people behind their back, it's for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is to paint a picture of that person that you want to impose on the people that you're telling it to. I want to make you think about this person the way I think about it. Even if I'm lying, I may create a narrative, and I don't like her, so I don't want nobody else to like her. So I'm going to put that out there and plant these seeds. Oh man, she went to jail for credit card fraud. I wouldn't trust her with no money, man. I'm just saying. Then it's always like they throw it out there, then they kind of, I'm just saying, like they just backing off of it. Nah, you putting it out there. Then try to act like, I don't mean to be. See, or they just want to destroy your image. Some people are upset at you if too many people like you. Why everybody like her? Why y'all always getting happy when he come around? I mean, what you mean? He's a great guy. He's cool. He's funny. He makes us laugh. He's cool. Why would you be mad? Then it'll change. Hey, y'all be kissing his butt when he come around. Y'all every time he come around, y'all just start hopping on his piece, boy. I mean, what are you talking about? You mad because everybody likes this person, and it's not you. See? Family members do it. Friends do it. And y'all be right there on Instagram the next day, all y'all in the picture like this together. Like he right there in the picture with you. Yeah, my boy, it's my ace, boy. We go way back. Man, that dude was cutting you up before you got there. It was cutting you up when you left. See? So it exists on so many levels. But the hypocrisy of some of these races, when it comes to some of these races, it's not about what was done. It's about who did it. So if the wrong person does it or commits some kind of offense, we're gonna go in on him or her because we don't like them no way. We don't like their kind. We don't like your kind. So we're gonna make you out to be a monster because you got caught, because you got a speeding ticket. You led the police on a little chase for about 10 minutes and you find it. Oh man, what a thug. The police should have shot him. Or maybe the police did shoot him. Well, he shouldn't have ran that light and then ran from the police. So he deserved to die. That's how they think. But if it happens to somebody that they don't think it should happen to, it's terrible now. It's injustice. It's horrible. So see, don't make no mistake. It ain't about what get done. It's about who do it. Because for years, there have been crimes that have been committed in America that Black people, Latino people receive sentences. The president of the United States is one of the main complicit orchestrators of a crime bill that led to Black people receiving disproportionate sentences for drugs, minimal drug amounts. The crime bill, right? It's the president. But on the same token, we know the story. We've been hearing it for years. White dude get caught sniffing some powder. He needs help. We got to put him in rehab. It's so sad. He has a problem. It ain't about what you do. It's about who do it. Al Pacino, my brother. What's up, Amp? It's always good to hear from you, man. Amp, if you still got my email address, I don't have your number no more, so shoot me your email. I just put my email, email me, send me your number. Holla at me. Tamika Woods, so sad yet true. Eric Martinez says, what about your own life? Worrying about everybody else. And see, that's the thing. The people who conduct themselves like that a lot of times, man, those people are so miserable. Miserable. And let me explain something to y'all. I'm not gonna explain it, I'm gonna explain it. People who have money, people who are rich, wealthy people, being rich and wealthy does not always exempt them or prevent them from being miserable, from being hateful, from being envious. Now picture that. That might not even sound like it makes sense to y'all. If you see somebody who doesn't have much, don't have a lot at all, they just got their talent, they struggling to try to make it, but they happy. Then you see some rich millionaire and they have an envy and a hatred towards the person who has way less than them on a material level. But the problem is they're so miserable on an internal level that they wish that they had what you had on an internal level. They wish they had that happiness. They wish they had that peace of mind. They wish they had that talent that you had, because their wealth may have came through a different kind of means. Don't let America fool you. Don't let these racists fool you into thinking that all of their wealthy and all of those who have wealth in this country, don't let them fool you into thinking that was just some product of hard work and grind and determination that led to, well, we just mashed the gas and we built our wealth from the ground up. Nah. Your history don't bear witness to that. Your history bears witness to a lot of slavery or enslaving of people, a lot of murder, a lot of rape, a lot of thievery from Native Americans. We gonna just to take the land. We're gonna take the land, and then we'll take the land. And when we take the land from the Native Americans, after slaughtering them, then we just divvy it up among our people. We just give it out. How much you need? How many acres you need? Okay, how many you need? Okay, I'm gonna give you 10,000 acres. Okay, I'm gonna give you some. How much you need? Okay, well, I'm gonna keep this for myself. Okay, that's all they did. They just stole and took what they got. Then as the years passed by, they painted the narrative of saying that Man, we built it from the ground up. You got to get it the way we get it. We can't get it the way y'all. But those who know, that's their biggest fear. That's why the objective is to keep us ignorant, because they know in their mind, or they feel in their mind, hey man, if they ever wake up, they'll try to get it the way we got it from us. Hey man, if the truth hurt, put some ice on it. I didn't see what Kurt Schilling said about Brittany Griner. What did Kurt Schilling say, Lance? I'm not surprised or whatever I'm gonna hear that he said, because in recent years, Kurt Schilling has been really showing. See this line right up with the topic. Kurt Schilling in recent years, since retiring from baseball, he's been showing a lot of what he really thought. It just comes out when it comes out. But I didn't see what he said about Brittany Griner. But I'm certain that it's gonna just bear witness to what I was saying about the principle of, it's not about what was done, it was about who did it. See? About who did it. There's unfair treatment in this country since this country been a country. There are things that people can do that would just be looked at as like, oh man, boys will be boys. And there are other things that they're looked at like, oh, give him 99 years. Black dude, oh no, he gets 99 years. White children do it. Boys will be boys. The contempt of a deceived generation coming forth at a time of great reckoning is the most dangerous force to the power elite. The classic tactic is to create a culture of endless distraction. Yeah, I agree with you, Brendan. Yeah. God should be validating you, not people. I agree with you, Angie. Unfortunately, we live in a society where people look to be validated by certain people before they look to be validated by God himself. We want approval. We want approval from the white man. We want approval from the government. We want approval from our boss, from boss man, supervisor. We want approval from the record label CEO. So what you're saying is true, but we have a greater worship for those elite, so-called elites that Lance was talking, that who was that Brendan was talking about. We have a more of a fear and a worship for them than we do for God as a whole. Why do what we could call good people attract many times negative or toxic relationships? Is it simply a test from God, or maybe an opportunity from the Creator to learn lessons about others? I don't know if it's a test from God in every circumstance. Every circumstance, we have to factor in our own levels of responsibility. And when you say attracting negative or toxic relationships, you can attract some negativity to you, or you can be attracted to negativity. Can work either way or both. So when the negativity manifests itself and blows itself out, then those of us who don't really think about our own role in it, we start saying, well, why is this happening to me? Why do I always end up with these kind of relationships? Why am I the one that always get the bad guy, the bad woman? Okay, because there's something that you are doing in terms of your process of selection and in terms of an impatience that we are showing to not thoroughly figure out who a person is before we move in or jump in head first based on something else that we see. Oh, she was fine, man. Oh, she was fine, bro. I had to jump on that. That's all you found out. You stopped. You didn't go all the way in. See? Or you display and exude a certain vulnerability that, like an animal that can sense fear and an animal that can sense weakness on a particular prey on another weaker animal, you are that weaker animal, and people can sense. Look, man, like if you in the hood, you know somebody who don't belong there. It's like, man, what's up? And then people prey on them. Man, this dude just walking through here. Look at this dude. This dude do not know where he at. Let's get him. So it ain't always about God testing you. It could be a situation where you didn't test yourself. You moved too quick. All blood ain't family. The workplace is really awful now for certain people wanting validation. It's way over the top. Let's read y'all comments right now. Sometimes you attract unhealed things within. Yeah, see, everybody got some stuff going on, man. We all are messed up. So we leave one messed up situation at the same time somebody else is leaving them their own messed up situation. And then we come together to create a brand new messed up situation because we didn't fix or heal this one over here that we came out of and this one out of here that they came out of. So the cycle continues. We're talking about, for those who want to get off subject tonight, y'all should know who you are. I don't know why we have to have this conversation every time. I will not respond to anything that's not on the topic. I'm starting to get worried about some of y'all. Getting worried. If you're not on the topic, I'm not going to respond to it. This is very important because we can't walk around here being naive. And a lot of us are very naive into thinking that, man, people ain't really like that. Man, people don't. That lady smiled at me just yesterday. She told me to have a nice day. Yeah, but you don't know what else was in her mind. You didn't see how she looked at you when you walked off. There's a scene. I don't think I'm gonna reference that movie because that may give y'all the wrong idea. But people can smile at you, man. Hey, man. As soon as you walk away, they like, oh. Do it all the time. People do it all the time. See? I always said, as weird as it might sound to people, that I like my enemies to be outward. I like to know who my enemies are. I can respect a person who just straight up say they don't like me for whatever reason. I appreciate it. I'm like, good looking out. Because I may have made the mistake of thinking that you was good with me. Now I know, stay away from you. See? Back in the days, that was a lady. Her name was Gloria Vanderbilt. Older people know who Gloria Vanderbilt was. And if you know who Gloria Vanderbilt is, I would like to see by a show of hands. But Gloria Vanderbilt was a clothing designer. And back in the 80s, she had some really popular jeans that she had made. You know, and the women would wear Gloria Vanderbilt jeans. You know, they were real popular back in the days. Black women would wear Gloria Vanderbilt. You know, we just try to get the name brand, what we think is a name brand. And Gloria Vanderbilt came out later and was like, well, I don't really make my jeans for black women because they're butts and all. You know, she made it like, my stuff is not for them. So, as usual, black folks getting the uproar. We're gonna talk about all these old school jeans that people used to wear back in the day. Well, we used to wear back in the day. Yeah, that's Anderson Cooper's mama, Gloria Vanderbilt. That's right. Jordache, Gloria Vanderbilt. Cheek jeans. Remember them cheek jeans that didn't have no pockets on the back? Okay, anyway. But she came out and said, hey, I don't make my clothes for y'all. So a lot of black people got offended. Now, I was young, so yeah, I got offended too. Man, that's messed up. But that's a beautiful thing. Thank you. I appreciate you telling me that. Marty, you laughing at them chick jeans. I know what you laughing at. You remember them chick jeans them girls used to wear that didn't have no pocket on the back. Them jeans told the truth. But she made it clear. So we should have been thankful for that. If you don't want us wearing your stuff, I appreciate that because now I know that I don't need to be giving you my money. I need to be spending my money with you. And that's the case in every form of life, all the way up into now, because we go in these same stores where there are Asians, there are Arabs, Indians, different people that come to America, set up shop. Where do they set up shop at? I ain't gonna even say it. I'm gonna let y'all say it. The nail shops and nail salons that the Asians, where do they set up shop? I'm gonna wait. Then a few more people answer the question. Come on, yeah, y'all go. So you would think, now we talking about what people really think about you, right? So you would think that, because just from a logical standpoint, if I was going to open up a business, right? If I had in my mind, I'm going to open up a business. But if I say, no, I'm really going to open up my business, I'm going to cater to not black, I'm not going to my own people. I'm going to go to another group of people, another race, another ethnicity. I'm going to go into their areas and I'm going to set up my business. It would seem like common sense would say, okay, when I set up my little storefront, when these people from this community come in this store, my first thought should be customer service, great customer service, and respectful treatment of the people who are patronizing my business. That should be the first thought. So what is it in their mind that makes them comfortable to not only come and, first of all, nobody actually said the black neighborhood. That's what I was looking for. Nobody said that. But y'all was right to say the hood, because I guess it's implied. Okay, well, yeah, you know, the hood. When any country, any city in the country, you say, well, where's the hood? You know, when we talking about the black neighborhood, right? Okay. What makes them comfortable enough, number one, to say, man, I ain't even from out here. I don't really know nobody, but I'm going to go right in the hood, the most dangerous areas, and we're going to set up our store. What makes them comfortable enough, number one, to do that? But number two, not only comfortable enough to come set up shop in the black neighborhood, but to set up shop in the black neighborhoods and then be, man, you got some onions. What makes them that comfortable to do that? Well, part of that, the main part of that, is the way we treat each other, the lack of respect and unity that we have among ourselves, because they wouldn't be, number one, it wouldn't be any room for them to establish a business in our neighborhood if our unity was on point like it needs to be, right? But if we still a work in progress on the unity side, okay, cool. On the self-respect side, it still shouldn't be. Okay, well, we don't have our stuff together yet, but so we gotta go spend our money with them for right now. Okay, we had that argument, cool. You still don't let nobody disrespect you. As soon as I walk in the store, you already on my head. You this close to me, making sure I don't steal nothing. You trying to rush me out of there, talking crazy. If one of our brothers and sisters who may be in a bad way, they may be on some drugs, they may be struck, you disrespectful to them. You're disrespectful to our children that come in there. You're disrespectful to our elders that come in there. Disrespectful to our young people that come. Everybody get it. Then you get so comfortable, you don't say thank you, come again, thank you for your business, thank you. You just get the money and they make sure they don't touch your hand when they, you know how many times I'd have had my change dropped in my hand from a distance? Not saying I want to touch your hand, I don't care about that, but it's just a thought. What are we talking about? Have your change drop from a distance, like you got 85 cents, they just come flying down. I'm like, golly, man, I'm about to drop my change because you're trying to make sure you don't touch my dirty black hand. But you want my dirty green money. See? But what makes them comfortable to do that? And what further makes them comfortable, what further makes them comfortable is knowing that no matter what they do, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll be back tomorrow. We've all seen the videos of the nail shops where the guy actually put his hands on the sister, put his hands on her. The next day, all of the black women were right back in that same shop. I even saw a video where the sister was filming an argument going on right there, and she was talking about how, yeah, this the same guy who put his hands on that lady last time. I only came back because I just like the way they do my nails, so that's why I'm here. And then he came right to her and started, well, stop filming me, and they end up getting into it. So if it happened to your sister, if it happened to another one, why do you think it's not going to happen to you? We got to be on a string. We got to feel like if it happened to one of us, it happened to all of us. That's the difference. That's the difference, man. Dub the Clipper says, but K, they thoughts about me don't affect me at all, respectfully. I understand that. But that's really not where I'm going, what the principle of it is, or what, because you're right, in a way, because the thoughts about you do affect you. They may not affect you in terms of putting you in your feelings and in your emotions, but you got to understand you have governments that don't like you and your people. So the thoughts that they have in the actions that they formulate based on their hatred of you absolutely affect you. Because after slavery, well, after emancipation, right? The slaves were allowed to go free and try to figure out their own. And many of them started to. Many of them started getting businesses. Many of them started to run for public offices. These are black people. We're talking about 1865, right? They started to really make some ground in a short amount of time. But the very people who had been accustomed to having them as slaves, they didn't like that. And they had lost all of their free labor. So listen to what I'm saying, bro. They lost all of their free labor, and it was affecting their bottom line. So laws were put in place by the very people who hated them based on the thought of how they felt, how they thought about them. And these laws are referred to even to this day as Jim Crow, right? So I told y'all, if they start messing with my connection, just hang on. Don't go nowhere. Some of y'all wouldn't know when I said that, but I'm kind of getting into some stuff, and this is usually when my connection starts going bad. But if you speaking just on a personal level, I get it. Like, well, okay, the dude at the bus stop that looked me up and down and looked at my shoes and started laughing. No, that don't affect me, what he think. But thoughts can affect you because thoughts are the parents of action. No action comes without a thought preceding it, right? So the way they think about you at the top absolutely affects your life. If a man goes to, if a man becomes a police officer, a racist white dude wants to become a police officer, and his motivation is, this gives me a free pass and an opportunity to beat up black folks and harass black folks and possibly kill me, one or two of them. That's his thought. And that thought can absolutely affect you, or it affect your son who's 15 years old, mind his business, and then some police officer come and start harassing him and end up killing him. Thought is the most powerful element in existence. Everything comes from a thought. Everything you see around you. Look behind me in my background. Everything you see started off as a thought in somebody's mind, including us. See? So I'd rather see a straight shooter. The way these people think about us, man, and this all comes from the comments I read about how all of those so-called Americans were talking bad about Brittany Griner when they saw that she got 9 years, when they sentenced her to 9 years. Now, hopefully she won't do the whole. Now, hopefully they'll figure out something to get back by any means. And that's pretty much the general idea of where they feel like it's going to go. I hope that's the case. But just because we share the same landmass doesn't make us all in the same mind frame. See? Leonard Green says other races send clear messages to our people that we need to stick with our own, but most of our people are ignoring the message. Yeah, well, you know, that's what God's going to come in to, because we're going to be forced to unify. So teaches the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. We're going to be forced to come together, man. Unbelievable. The LAPD won't make my sister officially missing until her license expires in 2023. She's been missing 6 years though. Everybody ain't getting the same justice. Wow. They're using Brittany Griner as a geopolitical pawn, period. Drop y'all locations, man. Where y'all at? Drop your location. We don't live in the same world, man. We share the same landmass, but we do not live in the same world. It's a difference between a planet and a world. Difference between a planet and the world. The planet represents the physical structure. The world represents the mindset. Galveston up in this thing, man. Baptism in the ism. St. Louis, the Lou, the Dot. Well, y'all got a nickname for the y'all's towns, cities, huh? Columbus. What's up, Clayton? .414 up in this thing. Fox Valley, 757, Virginia. K Love, what's up, my brother? Hope to see you at the SPC show next month. Corpus. Brockton, Massachusetts. Who from Brockton? One of them boxers is from Brockton. Austin, Texas. Canada, H-Town. Queen Hardy. Green. Toledo, Ohio, up in this thing. Masua Petty. Is that Masua or Masua? Well, yeah. Mike. Nothing but love. Thank you for your donation, man. Dollar Bill. We linking up tomorrow, Dollar Bill? Murder One in the building. Murder done snuck up in here, man. Let's get this OG salute done, man. For my brother Murder One. 30 years plus in the game. 30 years plus in the South Park Coalition, man. My brother Murder One. I want y'all to stop what y'all doing right now and send my brother some kind of love, some kind of shout out. Send him a peace sign. Send him a power fist. Send him a strong arm. Send him one of the little arms y'all be putting up. Send him a salute, 100 or whatever. Anything to show some love. Somebody post that right now. Post some kind of emoji to show love for my brother Murder One, man, up in this thing. I ain't know. He must have just got it. He must have just walked in the door. Y'all say a prayer. Y'all say a prayer for Angie Wise's sister, man. Because all I got to say is that they don't really care about us. They don't care about us, man. San Antonio, Portland, Oregon. Marty Marr, dead end. He Marty gonna tell y'all where he at in his name. Where he from. San Antonio. Marvin Blockbuster or something. Sydney, Australia. I see you, Joseph. El Paso. Yeah, man. Y'all show my brother Murder some love up in here, man. We couldn't do what we do without Murder One, man. Every member of the SPC plays a vital role to each other. I put the order in, man. We got the Alien Baby CDs coming in. We got a few people on back order. We're waiting. They didn't order, so the Alien Baby CDs are coming. What else? AC Chill shout out. You already know. Anytime somebody want to show love to my brother. Yeah, see Muhammad. It seems to never fail. Y'all hit the like button too if you haven't hit it yet. Let me get to 100 likes before I shut it down. Get me to 100 likes, and I can let y'all go. I can get out y'all hair. If you haven't hit the like button. But yeah, what happens is mysteriously, man, every time certain subjects, they just I could be wrong. It could my connection might really be jacked up. But it's just weird. It's weird how did it always seem to happen. North Carolina up in this thing, man. Is that Yamina Muhammad? Yep. Yeah, if my connection start tripping, just hang on till they bring me back. Let's get to 100 likes, and I'll let them have it. Milwaukee, what's up, Torrance? Hey, man, look. It's two aspects to the game. When I say the game, I mean like life. When it comes to the game, to give it. You got to teach what you know, man. Somebody can become a victim of what you know, but you didn't tell them. I don't know who be on here. Everybody that comes on these live streams, they don't openly post like y'all do. A lot of people openly post, but some people it's people on here right now that just like this. They ain't post, they don't do that. I go on people's live stream and I'll be like this. I don't just be always putting my name and posting. I don't do that. So you never know who's listening and watching that may be looking for something. And you may have some information that could be valuable to them. Man, I need one more like. Whoever haven't hit the like button, go on hit that thing, man. Yep. Lance Walter said YouTube is like wrap it up. But before I wrap it up, I'll run off because they want me to run off. We got to purify our own thoughts. You know how back in the days, older people say, if you don't have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. I'm gonna take that a step further. We gotta focus ourselves and our minds to the point where if we don't have nothing nice to think about somebody, try not to think anything negative at all. Something that don't affect you. See? And if it is something that bothers you, then try to think about it from um, a problem solving point of view, not from a point of view disrespectful, having a disrespectful thought, a word towards a person, from a place of and possible correction. See, a lot of people have we got the spirit, to slander people, talk bad about people behind their back. We got that spirit. That spirit comes out automatically, but we don't have the spirit to provide correction out of a place of love. Hey man, but let me holler at you, man. Let me holler at you real quick. Hey man, on the cool, man. You don't need to do that no more, man. I mean, that was, that was kind of messed up, bro. We don't have that spirit. But we'll wait till you hit that corner though. See how I've been bouncing back and forth between the personal level and on the big. Look, it's too much coming down on see, people think you are a conspiracy theorist when you speak about the so-called powers plotting and planning against us every single day. Oh man, ain't nobody doing that. Them people ain't worried about y'all. Yes, they are. Because we have something that they don't have. We have within us the keys to eternal life. We have a birthright given to us by the Creator. They don't have that. So they're planning and plotting for our removal in any kind of way they can. Whether it's this sickness that they can create, whether it's this drug that they can create, whether it's these chemicals that they can put in food and things that we consume, whether it's this negative elements that they inject in entertainment that turn us into what we see and what we listen to, when we watching movies and we go out and act on that, which leads us to getting jammed up, whether it's mass incarceration. All these things are strategic plans for our removal, genocidal plans and plots for our removal. Man, them people ain't doing that. Keep believing that. Man, y'all be on some weird stuff, man. Y'all think them people sitting around. I don't think them people sitting around plotting and planning. I know they sitting around plotting and planning. The problem is you don't understand that they know who you are more than you do. That gives them an advantage. They know who you are. You just don't. Yeah, John. You're either going to be called a conspiracy theorist or they're just going to outright call you crazy. And if you're big enough, they will use media to paint a picture of you. Oh, he's crazy. He's losing it. He's going crazy. He's going crazy. Crazy, 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 crazy. King Kong, much love to you again, man. As usual. Hey, man, much love to y'all, man. I'm out.